Losing is written into every person's destiny. But one man proved even that truth wrong. Imagine a sport where one punch can change your entire life. And in that arena, one man stepped in 29 times. The 29 people standing across from him were not ordinary fighters. They were the fastest and most powerful champions of their time. The whole world expected Khabib to lose. But he didn't just return victorious. He proved that when discipline turns into obsession, even the combined strength of the world cannot defeat you. Khabib turned the world's most dangerous sport into a one-sided joke. Today, we will understand the terrifying mindset that forced some of the best fighters on earth to beg for mercy inside the cage. In a sport where the strongest men break each other's bones, this man retired undefeated. 29 fights and 29 victories. In the Ultimate Fighting Championship, he fought 13 times. Throughout his entire career, he lost only 2 rounds. He took his opponents down 59 times while being taken down only twice himself. Khabib never just defeated his opponents. He destroyed their will to fight. But how did this happen? You might think he was naturally gifted or born powerful. No. Always remember one thing: ordinary people always keep an escape route for themselves. You have 10 ways to run away. When work becomes difficult, you pick up your phone. You start watching a web series. You always have an excuse ready. The weather is bad. I have a headache. I'm not in the mood today. Khabib never trusted his mood. His father created an environment where there was no second option. No distractions. No backup plan. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins says something very deep: when you have no escape route, your performance automatically rises to its highest level. For Khabib, winning was not a hobby. It was a necessity. He closed every door behind him. He grew up in an environment where weakness had no place. If you also want to destroy your laziness, first eliminate the 3 biggest distractions from your life forever. The apps wasting your time, the people pulling you backward, and the habits making you weak, throw them out today. Set a fixed time where you work no matter what happens, even if the sky falls. That time should never change at any cost. Now the next truth I'm about to tell you will shake you from the inside. This is the fear that exists inside every champion. You think when you rest, the world also stops. That is your biggest mistake. While you are sleeping, while you are endlessly scrolling on your screen, someone else is sweating. Someone else is preparing to take your place. This is not motivation. It is a terrifying reality. Relentless clearly says that the moment you relax, someone else takes your place. This fear burned inside Khabib like fire. He believed that somewhere in the world, another fighter was training harder than him. That thought never allowed him to stop. His opponents trained for one fight. Khabib trained for life itself. 29 fights and 29 wins prove that he never allowed himself to become weak. Every day you procrastinate, you invite your opponent to overpower you. Every day you avoid hard work, you give someone else a chance to win. You may think everyone works hard. Then what made him different? The answer lies in a terrifying story from his childhood. Listen carefully. Khabib was only 9 years old. Most children that age play with toys. But just before his birthday, his father tested his courage by making him wrestle a bear cub. Can you imagine that? A 9-year-old child facing a wild bear. This was not just a fight. It was a confrontation with fear itself. It was a way to remove fear from inside him forever. Greatness, respect, and success all demand one price: massive sacrifice. Endure explains that our limits are mental long before they become physical. Khabib's real weapon was not some special technique. It was his ability to endure pain. He became addicted to discomfort, swimming in icy rivers, running on steep mountains, and training twice a day with the most dangerous fighters in the world. This is deliberate strain. Peak explains that repeating the same thing again and again is not real practice. Real practice is what constantly pushes you into pain and difficulty. You only become stronger when you step outside your limits. From today onward, do one thing every day that feels difficult. Maybe it's taking a cold shower. Maybe it's working 10 extra minutes when your mind wants to quit. When your brain says, stop now, go a little further. Endure 10% more pain. That pain will separate you from everyone else. But enduring pain alone is not enough. Your biggest problem is something else. Who are you really? You make one mistake over and over again. In the morning, you are full of motivation. You think you will change the entire world today. But by night, you return to your old weak self. You have two faces. In the morning, you become disciplined. At night, you surrender to laziness. But Khabib had no second version of himself. He never believed in fake personalities or temporary motivation. He was the same person 24 hours a day. He never tried to be disciplined. Discipline was his identity. There was no other version of him. You become good for a few hours. A champion remains a champion all the time, whether anyone is watching or not. The day you stop being two different people, one who works and one who escapes, nobody will be able to defeat you. You must change your identity from the inside. You are not someone who works occasionally. You are someone whose very existence is built around the work. All of this was about physical and mental strength. But the real battle is fought inside emotions. And what Khabib did there was beyond imagination. You get triggered by every small thing. Someone says something and your blood starts boiling. You are a slave to your emotions. But Khabib turned his emotions into his greatest weapon. Conor McGregor and others tried everything possible to provoke him. They insulted his family, religion, and country. They created chaos, attacked buses, screamed insults. They wanted Khabib to lose control. But Khabib stayed calm. His silence was not weakness. It was his most dangerous form. One rule from the 48 Laws of Power says, always say less than necessary. Khabib understood that people who talk too much are often the ones most afraid inside. He kept all his fire locked inside and released it only in the cage. He proved that the sound of your actions is far louder than your words. From today, apply this rule to your own life. Whenever conflict appears, wait 3 seconds before reacting. Slow your breathing under pressure. Slow your decisions. Your silence will become the greatest punishment for your opponents. You must learn to use your anger without allowing it to destroy you. And this is where most people lose. They wait for the moment when the world is watching. But real victory is decided somewhere else. Victory is not won in the arena. It is won in the preparation room. The main fight is just a performance. Real victory depends on how hard you worked when nobody was watching. You think that when the real opportunity comes, you will suddenly give your 100%. If you believe that, you have already lost. Khabib used to train in the mountains of Dagestan with 10 teammates. They lived together, ate together, and pushed each other to their limits every single day. He had already defeated his opponents during practice itself. The art of learning talks about investment in loss. It means intentionally putting yourself into losing situations during practice so your weaknesses become visible. Khabib lost to heavier fighters behind closed doors. He exhausted himself in practice so that he could become unbeatable in front of the world. You must do the same. Put so much life into your work every single day as if it were your final opportunity. When you lie down at night, your eyes should close automatically from exhaustion. Sweat so much in practice that you don't have to bleed in the real battle. But behind all this was another force without which Khabib could never have become so great. And that is something most people today no longer possess. Today, people sell their values for a little money and fame. The moment success arrives, they forget who they are. But money and fame never changed Khabib. He always kept his family, faith, discipline, and honor above everything else. He respected his gym, his coaches, and his teammates deeply. He never forgot where he came from. The streets of Dagestan and the teachings of his father always stayed with him. His father used martial arts to save young people from crime and destructive paths. Khabib followed the same mission and became a role model for his people. If one of his teammates looked lazy during training, Khabib would even take away their phones. He understood that a strong person can only reach great heights when connected to their roots. When your purpose becomes bigger than yourself, when it includes your family, your people, and your values, your strength multiplies 100 times. And those are the moments that create history. Does your life have a moment the world will remember? Your life is a story. But is it a story people will never forget? Khabib created unforgettable moments, whether wrestling a bear as a child or dominating inside the cage. Every action built a legacy impossible to erase. You also have opportunities. Through your work and your effort, create moments so powerful that people get goosebumps when they talk about you. You do not need to defeat anyone else. You only need to defeat the person you were yesterday. Turn your life into a movie that even you would want to watch from the front row. Every day is a blank page. What you write on it is your decision. You can never create an extraordinary story by doing ordinary things. You must do what average people are too afraid to attempt. And most importantly, you must abandon the thing that weakens you every single day, complaining. Your excuses never end. I don't have this. My situation is bad. I never got an opportunity. I don't have resources. But Khabib never complained. Early in his career, he tore a ligament in his knee. For a fighter, a knee injury can end an entire career. Many times opponents pulled out of fights at the last moment. But his focus never changed. He simply said, "Just tell me who my opponent is." He even joked that if the weight was right, he would fight King Kong himself. That is real preparation. The moment you stop complaining, your mind starts searching for solutions. Complaining is the habit of weak people. People who achieve greatness do not cry about circumstances. They reshape circumstances according to their will. By the end of this video, your mind should understand one thing clearly. Success is not magic. Motivation means nothing. It is an illusion for beginners. What you truly need is a system. What you choose every morning determines where your life goes. There will always be champions in this world. But whether you become one of them is your decision. Average people always keep escape doors open. They always have an excuse and a backup plan. But champions, the people who rule the world, burn every bridge behind them. Burn the Boats teaches exactly this principle. If you truly want victory, eliminate every path of retreat. Every day is a war. And in this war, losing should never be an option. The moment you refuse to stop, the entire universe begins to support your strength. So today, what is your bear? What is the one thing you are running away from the most? Write its name in the comments. And if you want a complete system to hunt that bear, my discipline and mental toughness playbook is waiting in the first link of the description. It is a blueprint for becoming a warrior. From eliminating phone distractions to mastering deep work and focus. The decision is yours. See you in another life-changing, practical, and powerful video. Thank you so much.